The information provided in this program is of a general nature and is not intended to be personalised financial advice. We encourage you to seek appropriate advice from a qualified professional to suit your individual circumstances. Demand for top-tier office space is so hot, Precinct Properties is upping the rent. And Sky Television may follow Netflix and launch its own cheaper version of Neon with ads. It's Monday, the 27th of February, and you're watching Markets with Madison. Well, apparently more of us are coming into work than staying at home. That's according to the head of Precinct Properties, who says the post-COVID comeback to the office is booming. Chief Executive Scott Pritchard says it's seeing so much demand, it's managed to push through double-digit rent hikes, and more could be on the way.
We saw a real recovery in the final quarter of last year, particularly as restrictions were removed and people got more confidence. And we've also seen businesses start to really value the office, and so there's been more investment put into different offices. And the intent of that, of course, is to get people back in the office. And all of the leasing deals that we've been doing, all of the CEOs that I've been talking to, are all saying to me that there's definitely productivity gains by having more people in the office. And so we've seen that happen, and certainly since Christmas this year, there's been a real reversion back to the mean. I mean, we've actually seen levels of people in the offices that we haven't seen since before COVID. So, really encouraging here in New Zealand. Different to offshore, but we're encouraged by what we're seeing in New Zealand.
Your rental income growth was strong for the half year. Is that because you're leasing more space or because you're increasing rents?
We're increasing rents. So our portfolio is actually full. I mean, we have 1 or 2% vacancy. Where we've had some space that we can lease, we've seen really significant increases in rents. So actually 17% increases, 16.9% increase on the previous rent, where we've completed a new leasing deal with a new party. And so that's really encouraging and does signal the demand that we're seeing for our types of real estate. You're right, across the board, market rent reviews and new leasing's about 9%, but that's really strong growth and really does demonstrate the place that office has, and particularly at the premium end.
You're obviously not seeing anyone struggle to pay that, are you?
Well, that's the interesting thing. We haven't yet seen any decline in demand. And so, there's no doubt that there's some uncertainty from a macroeconomic perspective, but businesses are prioritising their staff right now. And I think what that's telling us is that there's actually not enough people around. There's a shortage of labour, and so businesses are utilising their premises and their offices as a way to attract people in, and it's also a way to attract people to their business.
Are you going to push more price increases through this year?
Well, look, we're in a competitive market, and so we had a high-rise floor in one of our really premium towers recently become available, and we had a number of parties looking to lease it from us, and so when you're in that situation, a competitive situation, it sort of drives outcomes, and so we're really pleased with that.
The valuation of your portfolio did fall by around 53 mil. How much worse do you expect that to get?
Well, look, we're seeing rising interest rates, and unfortunately, required returns on investments are very highly correlated with interest rates. And so, when we see rates rise like that, our expectation is that we'll see valuations start to come under a little bit of pressure. Now, if we can still get market rental growth, then that will help mitigate valuation declines, but we do expect that valuations will come under pressure, particularly as interest rates keep rising.
Does that bother you? Does that change any of your mindset in terms of what you are doing with developments or leasing space in the future, or do you kind of just not care because it's on paper?
No, absolutely, it's a consideration. I mean, for us, it's really important to actually look in a forward sense around what our cost of capital looks like and what our required returns are, particularly where we're taking risks. So the difference being that if we're undertaking a development and we've got no pre-commitments, then our required returns are higher. If we've fully leased the building and we start the development, then returns are lower. So we're constantly looking on a forward basis as to what our returns are, and it's a real consideration, particularly when we're deploying capital.
You have heaps in the development pipeline. What are you most excited about?
Oh, everything really. I mean, as a business, we're excited about shaping the cities that we're in. We've got One Queen Street, which is due to finish this year, which is a hotel. It's office space. It's got a rooftop bar.
I heard about that. When does that open?
Late this year, which is exciting. I think it's going to be something that Auckland needs, and it's something that Aucklanders and visitors are really going to enjoy. We've We've got more office space in Wynyard Quarter, and that'll see the completion of Wynyard Quarter for us, which has been a 6 or 7 year program of projects. So that's going to be fantastic. I mean, from an urban regeneration perspective, Wynyard Quarter is really exciting. And then we've just started a new project in Wellington, which is fully leased to the Crown, really high quality office building in Molesworth Street. So we've got lots going on, which is great.
I have to ask, given that your valuation is dropping, and as you say, it's certainly top of your mind, are you going to have to implement any cost-saving initiatives as a result, job cuts perhaps?
Yeah, not at all, not at this stage. I mean, we've actually got more work on than we've had for some time. I mean, our development book right now on a total project cost sense is north of 1.1 billion. And like everyone right now, we're really struggling to find good people to help us actually, manage that. So, we don't foresee any of that on the horizon for us right now, and really focused on delivering our projects, but also managing our portfolio.
Thanks so much for your time, Scott. See you at that rooftop bar. Look forward to it.
You bet. Thank you.
Sky Television is watching competitors like Netflix and may copy its latest move. Its chief executive Sophie Maloney told me late last week that it's considering launching a cheaper version of its Neon streaming service with ads. It's already seeing growth in subscribers, but it wants to do more. It's also having to drastically cut millions of dollars in costs, including proposing to axe 170 jobs. I started by asking her about that.
As a chief executive and as an executive team, you never want to have to take, as you say, quite a dramatic step like this. But what we've recognised and what we've learnt the hard way is that right now we just can't deliver to customers as we should. In particular in our call centre, the main emails I get from customers are out of pure frustration, not because our team are not working as hard as they can, they just can't get to the calls. So getting access to the right capacity and capability is absolutely vital for us to be delivering, because we've launched our new Skybox, we've got the pod coming, and we know it's going to increase demand. So that's why we've had to take this proposal. We're waiting for feedback. We don't know where it's going to end, but we know that we need to boost our resourcing significantly.
If it does happen in full as proposed, how much money would Sky save from that?
Look, at the moment, we've said multi-million-dollar savings within a couple of years. We don't know yet, Madison, until we've actually gone through the process, we've taken on the feedback, and we've got to the final decisions, communicated with crew. At that stage, we'll have more certainty on the cost savings.
Are you implementing any other cost-saving measures other than that?
We're looking right across our business, to be honest. Everything that we're doing, we're really focused on making sure that we're doing it as efficiently as possible. So yes, we've got a procurement team now who are looking at everything we're spending, reviewing the way that we do all of our production. So yes, every cost line is getting quite a lot of scrutiny.
Are you worried at all about the possibility of offshore call centres not providing adequate customer service and what that could do long-term possibly to customer growth?
Well, what I can safely say is that Probe, who we're proposing to work with, we're already working with onshore. We've been really happy with the quality of service. There's a real intent to make sure that the team is an extension of our Sky team. What does that mean? That means helping all of the crew understand Aotearoa New Zealand, understand about what matters to our customers. But to be honest, Madison, at the moment we're not able to answer calls. So I think customers want to be heard and we want to respond. And we're absolutely, if we move forward with this proposal, going to work hard to make sure this is an extension of the Sky team.
You're seeing growth in subscribers to streaming platforms, which is certainly positive, the likes of Neon and Sky Sport. How are you going to capitalise on that going forward?
Yeah, we're very excited about our customer growth. Over 1 million customers, big growth in streaming, particularly in Sky Sport now. We're just excited that New Zealanders can see there are different ways to interact with our amazing range of content. I'm really hopeful and have some confidence around the new Skybox and the new Sky Pod. The pod is the first time you're going to be able to get all of our services without the dish on your home, and I think it's an incredibly flexible device that we're really excited to roll out this calendar year.
Netflix has just launched its ad service, which is a bit cheaper in New Zealand. What do you make of that? Is that a possible risk?
I don't think it's a risk. Look, our Neon service, we put through a price increase in August last year, and at the same time we introduced a basic tier, which means a single stream, it's standard definition. That's at $12.99 a month, the $17.99 for the standard package. And at this stage, we're really happy with what we're seeing with both of those. I think there's room for us to look at an ad-funded tier as well, whether that's the basic tier, and we think about introducing 4K. We know that people are keen to see the best quality picture. So from our perspective, it just means more opportunity for growth.
How much would you charge, possibly, if you do launch an ad service?
Don't know that yet. It's all down to the research and seeing what makes sense. But what I can safely say is that Fee, who heads up the Neon team, are really focused on delivering great content for our customers. And if you haven't seen The Last of Us and you don't mind being a little bit terrified, I highly recommend it.
I wish I could say I could watch that, but I freak easily, so I'm sorry, Sophie, that one's not for me. I'm more of a Bachelor kind of girl.
Oh, okay, very good. Love Island is there, so
Perfect.
yes.
Yeah, that'll be me this weekend.
Yeah, good.
Who would you view as your biggest streaming competitor? Would it be Netflix or a local competitor?
Do you know what? I don't actually think of them as competitors. Why do I say that? I say that because we have our Skybox business. We are going to have the pod rolling out. Yes, Neon's a really important standalone entertainment streaming service for us, curated for Kiwis by Kiwis. But if you think about it, it's fulfilling a role within our broader ecosystem. So if we only had Neon, then yes, I'd be saying let's look at Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, but it's not. It fulfills a role within our broader ecosystem. So as it stands, really, really happy with the growth that we're seeing, but I'm really mindful of the role that it plays in our broader Sky Group offering with all of the content we have to offer.
Just quickly on the Skybox, that was delayed. What sort of costs did Sky have to incur because of that being late?
Yeah, it has been disappointing for us, for customers and financially. In the half, we've incurred a $7 million platform cost in terms of keeping Vodafone TV going. So that's a direct cost that we've had to bear. It's netted off against streaming revenue. The good news is from 31 March, once we've moved all of those important customers to their chosen product, that won't be a cost we're going to be incurring going forward. So yeah, it has been disappointing. The team have worked really hard and we're now rolling. That's the important thing.
In a cost of living crisis, where mortgages are now quite expensive, historically speaking, are you concerned at all about the impact that inflation may have to your subscriber growth, both to Sky users and also to Neon users? Because it's a pretty easy thing to scrap if you're trying to save some coin.
Do you know what? I hear you. I do feel for New Zealanders with the cost of living crisis. And pay TV, generally in recessionary times, we tend to do okay. Why? Because people are staying at home and they're choosing to prioritise the big screen in the home. We're really mindful, though, of being able to offer, as you say, Neon, we think is a very, very well-priced product. And later this year, looking at how we price and package to better suit the household wallet. Of course, for those New Zealanders who can't afford that, we have our free-to-air channel Prime. It's a really important channel for us. It's distributed to all of New Zealand for free, and we're thinking about what sport and entertainment we showcase on that channel.
It's the last big week of reporting season, so there's still plenty more results to come. Today we've got the jeweller Michael Hill International and Genesis Energy. Tomorrow is Restaurant Brands, the owner of KFC, Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. Also the horticulture company TNG Global, also known as Turners and Growers, and the cannabis company Cannasouth. Wednesday, we've got another power company, Meridian and Vista Group. That's all we've got until retailers report later on in March. Let me know what you make of those results and what questions you want me to ask executives of the companies that you're invested in. You can get all the news and numbers as they land this week on nzherald.co.nz. Now go put your money to work.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.